Hi, it's Katie Harris with NursePreneurs TV, and today we're talking to Portia Wofford from the PW Agency about content writing. We're really excited, Portia, to have you here with us, and what we want to know is if we're going to start as a content writer, how do you even begin to price services? What is content worth these days?
Content is worth a lot more than people think it is. So what I would do is find other people that are in the same industry or same niche as you and see if you can figure out how much they're pricing. So you can price per word, or you can price per project. So I price per project, which means that if I write 4 blog posts for you, then you're going to pay me X amount of money. Some people price per word, which is usually between about 10 to 50 cents. It just depends on what the niche is. There are different organizations that you can look up. I know like the American Writers Institution is one that you can look up. They have like a pricing kind of scale. It's really just different depending on your niche, and you have to think about how much time it takes you to write. Because when you're writing, you're not just sitting at your computer and you're typing things out. You're researching, you're editing, you're making sure that you're proofreading, you're making sure that your grammar is correct. You're making sure that you have, the keywords and the search engine optimization. So there's a lot that goes into that. Figure out how much money you want to make per week, per month, per year, and then figure out how many hours it takes you to write, 500-word blog post, 1,000-word blog post or article, or whatever it is that you're writing. And then from there, you should be able to price it. So what you would do is you can break it down per hour. Or I charge $100 per hour. But you got to think when you're also calculating in all that other time that you're spending when you're writing. So think about what's best for you. I found that charging per project is easier for me and for the client as well. But some writers do like to charge per word. Some writers like to charge per hour. Just you have to really think about what's best for you and what your goals are.
Yeah, I like that price per project as well, because just because when you first start out, it's always going to be harder than when you're much more experienced.
Mm-hmm.
You can maybe bang out a project much faster, and I don't think you should be penalized because it takes you less time to do something than it did in the past.
Exactly. And when you're pricing per word or per hour, sometimes that's the downside of that.
Yeah, and by pricing by word too, there's kind of that inclination maybe to put in fluff that that doesn't necessarily contribute to the article, but if you're getting paid by word, there might be that kind of.
Right. And then sometimes, when you let a client know, oh, I charge per word, where they really might need 1,000-word post, but they say, okay, we'll give it to me in 500 words. Well, it's diminishing the integrity of your work.
Right. So what about writing for free? Is there a reason to write for free or a benefit to writing for free, particularly in the beginning or even when you're experienced?
Yes, I think so. There are some people who I still will do something for free, but it just depends on that relationship. I always say it needs to be mutually beneficial. If they have 10,000 people that visit their website a month, yeah, that's beneficial to you. If you have, if your name is attached, and if your name is not attached, it might not be beneficial. If you're ghostwriting, essentially, it might not be beneficial. But if your name's attached, and then, they can find you by looking at the little small little author bio. If you're going to write for free, I always suggest that you ask for a byline, which is basically your name at the top of whatever you're writing, and you ask for an author's bio, which is like 1 to 2 sentences telling who you are, what you do, and why someone should hire you.
Yeah, I mean, some things are worth more than money, right?
Right. Exposure, especially in the beginning, can help you a lot. It helps, build your portfolio, so that you have samples that you can send to other people. It helps you get testimonials so that when you go out for these bigger companies, they can see that you've written in this, you have expertise in writing, you have experience in writing, and that people actually enjoy your writing. So I definitely think it's beneficial. And even when you're experienced, you might can leverage a good networking relationship with someone.
Great. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Portia. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Lipstick and Stethoscope. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn as Portia Wofford, or visit my site, pwenterprises.co.